Right. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Mad Red United. I'm Adam. Voice is slowly but surely all coming back. Sorry about the screen picture. I am streaming live from a car park in Salford, right in the heart of Manchester tonight. Alfie is at his training. I'm just trying to get the lighting right here, but hopefully you can all see me anyway. Yeah, so this is it. Another massive 2 weeks ahead of United. I was talking about it last night until my voice completely shot down and just left me. I felt like I was choking on a cactus. That's what it felt like last night by the time I finished the live stream. It is a little bit better tonight, and I am back to sort of, I'd say about 70%. It is a massive 2 weeks, like I said now, because I spoke about it last night and people have already come back at me and said, let's not get too carried away. I know, I understand, I know where you're coming from. It is only a sort of half second string Chelsea team. It was Norwich, who are piss poor. It was Partizan, who don't even exist in the footballing environment at all. You can say what you want, but you can only play and you can only beat who is in front of you. And we've done it. We got the result against Liverpool. It gives us the confidence to go on and get our first away win in any competition against Partizan. We then beat Norwich, and then last night, obviously, we beat Chelsea. Now, a lot of people have gone into the Chelsea game in depth now. They've watched it back. You're looking at what? In terms of chances created, it wasn't fantastic. It wasn't a lot. We had, what, I think maybe 2 shots on target that came from open play, and a lot of people have picked up on that. And then we're looking at other points where it's like we're only scoring from set pieces. Well, to be honest, I'll come back at that one and say we never score from set pieces. We've been struggling to score bleeding penalties, let alone set pieces. So for Rashford to bang in 2 last night is still a positive, and for me, I can't see any negatives coming out of them games at all, considering what we've been watching the weeks before. I take it game by game, and I just say it as it is, as I see all his tactics and his team selections and the player performances as they are. For me, last night, I had no issue with it at all, because I thought we played all right. I thought we had a game plan. Yeah, it may have been too defensive for some people, and playing on the counter-attack isn't everyone's idea of how United should play, but how are United supposed to play? We haven't had the United way for 6 years, let's be honest. It's been garbage. So, hello everyone coming into the comment sections. Mark, Steve, Christina, hello everybody. And I am feeling a little bit better. Yeah, I've just said then a minute ago I'm at about 70%, so I'm just going with it. Hopefully I'll be fully fit, ready for Bournemouth at weekend, because that's a long drive, especially when you're on your own, which I am. So, let's look at the positives that have come out of these last few weeks, because compared to the weeks before, it is positive, let's be honest. So I can understand where people are coming from in terms of exactly what that game was last night, who we was playing, the sort of calibre of player we were playing. But what I would come back with again, and I'm pretty certain I mentioned it last night, was the likes of Hudson-Odoi, one of the great talents, so-called talents of English football coming forward. Has been tearing it up every single week that he's played and been a constant threat to everyone. Last night, Brandon Williams had Hudson-Odoi in his pocket. Literally in his pocket. And not only Hudson-Odoi, but where was Pulisic last night? The guy scores an hat-trick. He's banging him in left, right and centre in great form. He comes up against United, flat. Completely flat. That's got to be a positive, surely, hasn't it? I mean, yeah, we made one mistake which cost us a goal. It's usually the case with United. The only way opposition score against us is when we make a mistake. And that has been the case in the last 2 games again. McTominay at Norwich and Maguire, and you could say that the whole defensive line last night, 3 of them together couldn't handle Batshuayi, then that is a mistake in my eyes. But what else were Chelsea doing? They literally did nothing at all. So for me, I had no problems with the result last night, and not at all with the performance either. I thought, yeah, it was lacking in terms of possession, in creativity, but you could see the plan. We always did this against Chelsea and the bigger teams when we went away from home. We just held our own and we just stayed in the game and took our chances, got in and got out of there. That was all it was. That's all it was last night. We move on. Carabao Cup, we got Colchester in the next round now, and that for me pretty much nailed on. A two-legged affair in the semi-final, probably against City, which should be fun. Or are we going to get City in the final if we do manage to get through the semi-final? It should be interesting, because the way Liverpool are going at it now, it does look like it's all between United and City, because Liverpool's fixture sort of set up now, as we know, we've all heard them moan about it today. Then it looks like they're not going to take it serious. I mean, they're not going to turn down the FIFA competition, and if there was one that was going to go, it would probably be the Carabao Cup. So Liverpool clearly not taking the competition seriously. I think the actual lineup last night pretty much said that. So yeah, it looks like it's City's or United's, unless Villa and Everton make a surprise. I really can't see it, but for me, it's a chance to get to Wembley again, because wow, man, we need to be at Wembley every season, United. So I think it's a chance, maybe just push ahead with it and go for it, because I think we can manage it now that the Europa League is out of the way. That is, if it is out of the way, which is why I put in the title a big 2 weeks for United, because before the next international break now, we've got Bournemouth, then we've got Partizan, then we've got Brighton at home. 2 home games after a weekend against Bournemouth. If we can't beat Partizan at home and put the group stage to bed, then there's something wrong. I would be worried again. I'm fully confident that it won't be a great game, but I will get the result. And then that's that competition to bed. We can solely concentrate on domestic affairs then, because it's going to get jam-packed. We're going to head into the Christmas period. That quarter-final for the Carabao Cup will be coming up as well. And as we know, around Christmas time, fixture list go into mental time. So for me, these next 2 weeks are 3 games that United should win. I expect United to win, and then we're looking at hanging on the edge of the top 4 places, already qualified in the Europa League and looking good in the Carabao Cup, because I do expect the time Colchester roll down into Manchester that we will be beating them and heading into the semi-final of that competition as well. So we really could be looking at ending the year on a really good high, but it all depends, doesn't it? We've all got that fear, and I know what a lot of people are saying. They've still got it. I'm not going to forget what's happened for the first 2 months of this season. I'm not going to let that go. Obviously, like I said though, I do take it game by game, and the last few games to me have been encouraging. So in terms of going forward, he really does have to utilise the squad. This weekend's game against Bournemouth is massive. It is massive, because we went through a bruiser last night against Chelsea. We've seen it. There's a few players hobbling. There's a few players struggling with little bits of injuries and stuff like that. So for me, I think if we can get through the Bournemouth game, and we got a little bit of a break, we got like a 5-day break then till the Partizan game, that should be enough just to get the squad back in some sort of shape, fitness wise, and through other injuries, and move on from there, because we're going to need everyone in these next couple of weeks. The whole squad is going to be needed. Then we get the international break. If we can just win these next 3 games, it would be perfect time for that international break. Get a few players back from injury, and we can then look ahead towards the December fixture list and Christmas time, because that's when it's going to count. It really is. It's going to count when the games come thick and fast, because everyone has got the same amount of games. There's no disadvantage for the European teams or the teams that are playing in European competitions, and it's everyone's on exactly the same fixture list. So we need to be in some sort of shape before we head into that sort of game, or that spell of games for me. So looking ahead to the Bournemouth game at weekend, this on paper should be a really good game, because we've always had decent games at Bournemouth in terms of we do have a good record there. I think it was just a 1 defeat under Van Gaal, but everything past that, I think we've won our last 3. I think a minimum we've been last 3 or 4 times we've been to the Vitality Stadium, we've won. So I'm pretty confident going into it. They do play a very attacking style football, Bournemouth. They're quite open, so all leading into a pretty decent game on paper. There should be plenty of goals, and I do expect United to come through. The only thing that's going to hamper us, I think, is like probably fitness and workload. It's going to kick in. It's going to start affecting a few players. Like I said, the full squad needs to be utilised. Martial was rested last night, which is good, but Rashford's playing every single game at the moment, and even Maguire at the back, he's playing every single game. I mean, would it have made any difference if he played Phil Jones last night? I don't know. I think he just wanted to get the win against Chelsea, just to prove that he can beat the bigger teams last night, Solskjaer. It's why he went in with a strong team. He took advantage of Chelsea resting a few players. Let's be honest, Chelsea's minds are not on the Carabao Cup. It's as simple as that. But for us, it's a chance just to carry on and continue our sort of good run of form and sort of momentum that we have got, because we have got a decent momentum at the moment, United. We're looking at getting our 4th win in a row, our 4th away win in a row this weekend against Bournemouth if we can manage it. And then we've got Partizan and Brighton at home. Then, for me, this weekend is massive for United, because we have got a little break after this weekend of 5 days before Partizan, and then that should be enough just to see us through the next 2 games after that. I think that should be just enough break. It's just unfortunate that we've had the likes of Axel pull up with injuries recently, and obviously Pogba still missing and not looking like he's going to be back anytime soon. And it was just our threadbare. We knew this was going to come, because we knew that our squad was always going to be injury prone. But there has been a twist, there has been a turn in the attitude. It's like Christina just said there, the attitude of the team has changed. They seem to be playing as a team, and that gives me confidence going into Bournemouth, because Bournemouth, looking at their form, they've not conceded in the last 2 games, but they've played Watford and Norwich, the bottom 2, and they haven't even scored a goal in them games. I mean, looking at them games on paper, I'd have expected Bournemouth to at least be bagging 3 goals in each one of them, because of the way they played. They've had a really good start to the season, but it does seem to have dropped off a little bit. And I know Bournemouth have these dips in and out all the way through the season. It happens to them every season. I know that, but they always manage to get a goal. I can't remember the last time that they drew 0-0 2 games in a row. And for it to be against 2 poor teams in Norwich and Watford as well is a bit of a surprise. So, for me, Bournemouth have got to be there for the taking this weekend. United should be going into this game and attacking. There's no excuse not to attack. I think he will. The confidence from the last few games should carry this team forward, and it should give us the confidence to play our game like we have done against Norwich, like we did in large majorities. The passing was great against Chelsea, and for me, I can't see anything but a United win against Bournemouth. It's vitally important that we do get the win, like I said, because the momentum now, if we lose this game against Bournemouth at weekend, it's just going to bring everything tumbling straight back down again. It will be a sour atmosphere again. The fans will be downbeat, and we'll have the Europa League coming up, which no one wants to be going at. But we're going into that Europa League game next Thursday with a win and 4 wins in a row under our belt. Then it's a different game. We should beat them, put the Europa League to bed, and the whole atmosphere has just changed. Everyone is on a high. Everyone is thinking that we can actually turn this around in our season. We can actually look forward to the next game. I'm not getting ahead of myself. I know it's only a few games and it's a few wins. This is just the standard expectancy for me, for United. This is what we should be doing. People last night were getting a bit carried away, I thought, with talking people down who were impressed with that win last night. You've got to be impressed with any win at Stamford Bridge, no matter who he's playing. It is a horrible ground for United, and I know we won in the FA Cup there last year, but like I said last night, we are struggling with playing Chelsea in the league at Stamford Bridge. We never seem to be able to just manage to get it over the line in the league, but Solskjaer has got some sort of voodoo over Lampard at the moment, and I'm not complaining at all. I'm not complaining about the performance or the result last night. It was perfect in terms of not in performance, but it was perfect in terms of result going forward. We're in the next round. We got Colchester, a good draw, and that competition and the Europa League competition should be put to bed now before we hit the major December fixture pile up. I'm not even worried about it. Get through Colchester, get through Partizan, and that's that competition to bed. Then there is absolutely no excuse for the league, and the league form needs to take priority as soon as next Thursday is done. We've got Brighton, then the international break, then it's just all league, apart from the Colchester game obviously, but I'm not even counting that as a worry. I fully expect United to just walk over Colchester, and I'll be disappointed if we do anything less than that. So win at Bournemouth just sends that right vibe and gives us that right sort of mentality going into Partizan, just to put them to bed, finish it off, and then what? You can't really argue with me that would be a good end to this sort of period through these international breaks. The first 3 months of the season are always a pain in the ass because of the international break, but if we win Bournemouth and Brighton, then we're pretty much going to be on the brink of top 4 the way it's going at the moment. We're going to be at least 5th, because I can't see Arsenal taking much from their next 2 games. I really can't. They've got Leicester coming up, and there's 2 teams directly above us. If we can beat Brighton and Bournemouth, then we're going to be picking up points on one of Leicester or Arsenal, if not both. So let's beat Bournemouth this weekend. Like I said, in terms of Bournemouth's form, then I'm not particularly worried, or they don't scare me, or they don't hold any sort of fear factor. We've got a good record there. I said that as well already. I think we can just go out there with an attacking lineup and go straight at them. Who would I pick for the Bournemouth game? Obviously, De Gea comes straight back into goal. Then we're looking at the back 4 or 5. Which way is he going? I expect it to be a 4, to be honest, against Bournemouth. No need for a 3-5-2 against Bournemouth. It's not needed at all. I think we'll go 4 at the back. We'll probably have Ashley Young at left back, even though I think Brandon Williams should be there now. We'll have Wan-Bissaka at right back, no problem, and it will be Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire in the middle again. I do fully expect it to be a midfield 3 of Pereira, Fred and McTominay again. I can't see him changing it, even though they played on Wednesday. I just don't see it happening. I think it will be them who come in. And then we're looking at a front 3 of probably Martial, James and Rashford, which no one is going to complain about at the moment. It's pretty much the same team as Norwich. I cannot see it being any different than that, and I don't think anyone else would argue with that at the moment or change any one of them players. Who is there else there to come in? You could say, no, Lingard's not going to get in that. Matic are not going to get in that team. Pereira is going to hold that number 10 role, which is where he should be playing. So yeah, for me, that should be the team going forward. It should be a 4-3-3, and I can't see, is there anyone else to come into that? You can't really argue with the way the players are playing at the moment. Do Bournemouth play expansive football? Although Bournemouth do play expansive football. I think it's to their detriment last season in terms of the amount of goals that they conceded, which was an awful lot, which is why, like I said, I was surprised. The last 2 games they've played 0-0, both games solid at the back, but playing shit teams in Watford and Norwich. I did expect more from Bournemouth. So for me, again, it's just giving me more confidence going into this game. Bournemouth will attack. Alien Tenno, yep, spot on, Adam. That should be our starting 11, says Christina. Definitely. The only one who would change is probably drop Ashley Young for Brandon Williams. If Brandon Williams can pocket Hudson-Odoi, then I've no fear in playing him in any Premier League game now. I'm really not. I just don't think that it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a challenge for him in terms of his in terms of it mentally with him. He's handled everything that's been thrown at him, and it has been some shit away games that he's been thrown into. He's not even been given a chance at Old Trafford yet. It'd be nice to actually have a game at Old Trafford. It doesn't seem like we've been there for ages, but I think Brandon Williams would and looks like, to be honest, and I don't know where you guys stand with this, but I think Brandon Williams is ahead of Luke Shaw right now in terms of what he's played this season. Because, let's be honest, Brandon Williams has played more games than Luke Shaw this season now. That is where we're at. Luke Shaw finished against Crystal Palace, and that was 3rd game of the season, was it? Yeah, 3rd game of the season. So Brandon Williams has actually featured more than Luke Shaw this season. So why should Luke Shaw come back into this team ahead of Brandon Williams? That's my point. That's my big one out there. I'd see if you guys agree with that. I don't know. You might not agree with that. Maybe Luke Shaw comes back for you, but for me, no. There's been no difference with Ashley Young playing there, and I think going off the actual squad right now, Luke Shaw's our 3rd choice left back. That's crazy, because I think Ashley Young's done a better job there at left back. Maybe similar sort of job as Luke Shaw, probably on a par. But because Ashley Young is our club captain, even if he was playing a similar
to Luke Shaw and was playing as well as him, I think he would always get the nod. But I do think in that left back position this season, our best left back has been Brandon Williams. He's created, he's been good going forward, and been absolutely rock solid at the back. Where you guys stand with that one, I don't know. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you're right on with me, because I can't see it, and I'm not. I just you may come back with an argument, but it's for me it's a no-brainer. Brandon Williams ahead of Shaw and Young right now, and that is a big one. The next player that probably was going to be getting to that sort of level and that sort of place in the team probably would have been Axel until he got his injury, because he was playing well. He was playing the same games as Brandon Williams, and you could see the link, you could see it working well. But Axel probably would have been getting ahead of Victor Lindelof for me right now in that centre-back role. He would have been holding down that role, no problem at all. But again, he got the injury, as always, unlucky with injuries, United. And I'm just gutted for the lad, to be honest. I'm gutted that he didn't get his chance and he didn't get to play a few games in a row. It was really annoying because he was playing really well at the time. And I've still not heard him. I mean, Ollie's not come out of his press conference yet, but I've still not heard anything about what Axel's actual injury is. So I'm not 100% where we're at with that one. But I do think our best, if I had to pick a back four right now, my back four would be Bizarre, Axel, Maguire and Brandon Williams with David De Gea behind him. That is a good solid back four. And at the start of the season, we were all saying that our back four, I know a lot of people, me myself, was saying that our back four could compete with any back four in the league, and that was Shaw, Bizarre, Maguire and Lindelof. So it's a case of preferences in terms of player styles. It's like what's the name said there, what's that, it's like Danilo Williams says there, Lindelof was better than Maguire yesterday. To be honest, I think it just looked that way for me because Lindelof had a bit more to do. Maguire was sweeping more, although Maguire's passing was off last night as well. Excuse me, I did pick up on that. He does seem a bit rusty with his passing at the moment and carrying the ball, but I can see that just coming back with Maguire. You know he's got it in the locker, and you know he can bring it on and bring it to the party when's needed. So I'm not really worried about Maguire having a bad game because I know what he's there. He's proven at this level. When Lindelof has a bad game, you just fear that how long is it going to carry on for, because he does take a dip in form, and it does take him a while from what we've seen so far to get back to some sort of form, Lindelof, when he starts to take a bit of a dip. So for me, I think Axel comes in, and I think Axel and Maguire is the best centre-back partnership for me right now. But Axel unfortunately is injured, like we said. So going into the Bournemouth game again, in terms of Bournemouth's team, where their threats are, well, there were a few threats, to be honest, until I've seen the last two games, and I'm thinking, the hell, can they all be in such bad form all at once? Because you've got the obvious threats in Callum Wilson, you've got Fraser. I mean, there's plenty going forward there. Josh King, I don't even know if Josh King's back fit or not yet, but we know from the past, we know what Callum Wilson's made of. He's been touted for bigger things, and I don't see him lasting much longer at Bournemouth before he gets picked up by another club, someone in the top 6 team in the Premier League, someone like a Spurs or team like that. But I think that is their main threat, and obviously Fraser down the wing. But depending which, I think Fraser plays predominantly down the left hand side. He does switch though occasionally from right to left. So if he's on Aaron Wan-Bissaka's side, then I ain't got a fear in the world, because I know Bissaka will just relish the opportunity to have someone playing against him and a duel that he can actually go at again. Because the better the player, the better Bissaka plays. That's my opinion. Every time he plays against someone who isn't expected to do much, he doesn't usually have one of his better games. But as soon as someone comes up against him of any sort of note or calibre, he ups his game and he turns into an absolute monster. His average is just 7 every single game at the moment, and that's just average. But when he needs to, he's just got 8 and 9 like that, easy. So Fraser, depending on what side he plays, is obviously a threat. Obviously, the centre backs, I would expect Maguire and Lindelof to handle Callum Wilson, Josh King the same, and I don't really see much threat coming from anywhere else in that Bournemouth team. I know commentators curse or whatever you want to say it, YouTubers curse, they say that now and it'll all backfire on me on Saturday, but I am confident going into this game. I'm really confident that United will do this. Would you bring back Chong for weekends, Steve Buckler? No, I wouldn't. I don't think it's the right time to mess around with the team right now. Unless someone really needs a break, then I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't change it at all. Black King, Adam, what do you think of Mandzukic in January? If we were going to get Mandzukic, mate, I thought we should have got him in the summer, just as a different option for us. There are rumours about the Haaland kid coming in, but I can't see that happening just yet. I think he'd want to see out the season in the Champions League. I still think they've got a chance in that, but for me, Mandzukic, right now with Martial back, is he going to take away a chance for Greenwood when the chances come around this Christmas period? I wouldn't. You know what? I mean, he's an option, innit? We do need that bit of something different, but when Mandzukic comes, does he command the position straight away? Does Ollie buckle to the experienced player and say he has to play every week, and then the whole flow of our game just goes down the Swanee again and we ended up lumping it long consistently? I mean, Mandzukic is a good player, don't get me wrong, but right now, it's the whole fear, innit? We could say we don't need him right now because we've got everyone fit, but we know that our squad is made of jelly baby. They're all jelly babies, aren't they? One little knock and it's 2 months out. It's like Martial and Shaw at the start of the season. Third game in, we were into September and we're thinking, August even it was. And we're like, oh, it's not too bad, Ellie said after the press conference. And Shaw's still not back now, we're into November. So you know what I mean? We're scared. And that's the only reason that Mandzukic deal in the January transfer window is just here and there with me right now. I'm not too sure. Please, no please, he's the Croatian Crouch, said said Lil United. I don't see who else is there. No, I mean, I think that's a 50-50 with Mandzukic with a lot of people. I can see why, but to be honest, I mean, I'd want better, to be honest, than Mandzukic. If we were going to get Mandzukic, I understand getting him in the summer. Why we have to go out and get him in January, it just looks a little bit desperate. And again, how long is it going to take for him to click in? We've seen the likes of Higuain coming into Chelsea similar time in the season, and he was absolutely shit. And it's that adapting from that Italian league and coming into the Premier League mid-flow, and the Premier League is so much quicker. It just takes a few games to get going in the Premier League, and then you never know, a few games you could be injured, a few games we could lose them games, and then everyone's downbeat, and then you're struggling again to sort of find some sort of form, and it's just awkward in January. We've seen epic fails by United in January, and I mean epic fails with January transfer windows. I mean, look what happened with Sanchez when he came in. It just could not get to grips with Manchester United, and now he's turned out to be the biggest flop in transfer history. Christina says, get Haaland instead. Yeah, another young prospect. He's one of them, innit? 19 years old. Could easily hit the ground running and be an absolute will beater, or he could just hit that United first team and then just flop. We just don't know. How good is... he's proved it on Champions League stage, you give him that. And it's like Alien Tenno says, then we've got Greenwood. Would that just be taking away the opportunities for Greenwood? We've not seen Gomez for a while. You know what I mean? When the team's playing well, it's good to bring some of these kids in, because this is the right time to play them. And coming into a team full of confidence, they're only going to get better and better. It's why you've got to give Brandon Williams a lot more credit than what people are giving him, to be honest, because he has shone more than any of them this season. In the 4 or 5 games that he has played in, he has been the best player pretty much in every single game. And you can't deny that. He has been absolutely superb. And that's when the team pretty much were on our asses when he's coming. So you've got to give more credit to Brandon Williams. Now the flow of football going forward. Looks a little bit better. The cohesion looks better. The passing is sharper. Maybe there's a chance for Greenwood when someone drops out to come in now, because you're playing alongside a confident Rashford and a confident Martial and a confident James, whichever one comes off. So for me, I think I would probably hold off on the striker. I do think that it worries me a little bit, but I don't want to go out and just panic buy and then scupper all chances of when the transfers should be done, which is the summer. And January transfer windows for me just mess up the summer windows, because you've already got a player there because you're desperate and the fans are crying out for signings. I've said we need signings in January, but there's certain players that you need to buy in January, and it's not the panic buys for 33-year-olds, I don't think, because you think you're short in one area. I don't think Mandzukic would be able to adapt. I know it's a tough one, isn't it? It really is. But for me, I'm just going to say no. I don't want him. I don't want him. It's like who was it who said that? Then Alien Tenno says the midfielder's got to come first. That central midfielder, that right winger, they're the main priorities. We now lead. Do we need another left back now? Can we rely on Luke Shaw to be fit for a whole season? No, we can't. Can we rely on Ashley Young getting any younger? No, we can't. He isn't going to get any better, is he? So we got Brandon Williams at left back at the moment, who is a stonewall definite. He's going to be available for every single game, and he's going to perform at a level that United needs. Ashley Young, he's in and out. Yeah, he's a captain. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he will give you a shift, but his qualities are not that good. Then we've got Shaw, who is just the most injury-prone player I've ever known in my life, barring Phil Jones. So really, priority positions for me now, left back comes into it, and then you've got the central midfield, obviously, and then you've got the right winger. The right winger, and the way we're playing at the moment, we've seen Rashford now, he plays from the left now, and he's scoring goals, so it's not necessarily a striker that we need. It could be just another forward player who can play on one of the sides. Niz is in the house. Hello, Niz. Hope you're feeling better, Adam. Bless you. Great win last night, but Premier League games are a priority and consistency is the key. Yes, you're right, Niz. I am feeling a little bit better. Like I said at the start, before you came on, I'm around about 70%. I'm hoping by the time Bournemouth comes around on Saturday, I'll be around about 85. And then coming back from Bournemouth with a big win, I'll be at about 90 odd. And then going into the live show, yes, the live show on Sunday, people, it's back. First Sunday available in ages. Hoping to get Paul back as well to find out how he's actually seen these last few weeks of United and the sort of like 360 turn in terms of form that we've had, which it has been recently. But yeah, I think, you know what? We need players in January, but I don't think the ones that we need are going to be available. That's the problem, I'm thinking. United have already made the excuse and come out and saying it's a tough time to buy. We do need players in January, I'm not going to deny that, but if it came down to a point of actually saying that it's going to be just to bring in another number, and because we're short in a certain position, then no. To be honest, there are some good players who are available on a free in the summer, and if United can just maybe secure Europa League football this season, maybe get a trophy, maybe a League Cup. You know what? We could even win the Europa League and get back in the Champions League. Then Eriksen is available, 27-year-old, perfect experience in Europe and in the Premier League on a free in the summer. That's where United's priorities should be. There's your creative midfielder, and it's a free. So there's no excuse not to then go and buy the other central midfielder, the left back and the right wing that we need. We've got another forward creative player there in Eriksen. Greenwood's a year on in the summer. You've got Rashford, Martial, James. Get that extra right winger in as well, and then we're talking like we've got options. The priorities should be in the summer now. If the player becomes available in January, United have to spend. They have to spend. But can we honestly see the player we know we need being available in January? Bruno Fernandes might be available in January. There is one definitely that could be got. I mean, the summer you could be looking at the likes of Jadon Sancho being available if United can finish strong this season. So it all comes into a mix of the long-term ideal scenario for United in terms of players coming in. Could be all based on little games like this, Bournemouth at weekend and beating Brighton at home the following weekend, just to give us some confidence going into what is a tough sort of run of games going into January, December and January. So these games now are massive. Bournemouth is massive. Every single game is massive because of the state that we've got ourselves in, and they all need winning. Adam, how are you feeling now? That's from man like Mo. Mo, how are you doing, mate? No, I'm alright, mate. I feel alright, but my voice is going. The more and more I talk, I get past that half-hour mark, and it just starts to just squeeze up. It's really annoying, I tell you. It's no surprise that United are playing well and I've lost my voice. I mean, it says it all, really. So you can judge United's whole season on how I am and how I feel, because now United are playing well, I've gone to shit. I felt great in myself when United were playing crap, but that's probably because I didn't have no goals to cheer. We could get Eriksen for a free, I think, and we could get Sancho. This is exactly what I just said. Alien Tenno just said exactly the same thing there. I love your show, mate. Keep going. Cheers. That's Mohammed Kole. Thank you very much, mate. Steve Buckley. Over the moon on the last night's results, but as a team, we cannot keep playing slow possession football. I understand, mate. I'm not bothered when we're away at Chelsea or a big club. It's just about a result for me. The performances need to come against Bournemouth at weekend, and like we did against Norwich last week. That's when we need to be adding our goals, our goal difference, getting our big wins and building our confidence. So then when the big games like Chelsea come around, we've actually got a little bit of confidence to try something new. And Rashford came out of that Norwich game confident enough to take the penalty, and confident enough to take on a free kick from 35 yards out. That's what I mean. It's the little decision making in the big games that counts. And if you're confident from a game previously where you've bagged 3 or 4 in a game and smashed someone, then that goes into that big game against Chelsea. So perfect week for me so far. Little United, you don't want Eriksen? Oh mate, come on, surely. On a free transfer, the guy is made for United. He's asked to leave Spurs and they've not granted him his wishes. You know what I mean? He's not paid the massive wage. He's got one more big contract in him. I thought Spurs missed it. I thought they missed the shit with Eriksen. They should have sold him. They really should. I have the feeling we really wanted Eriksen in the summer, but he did not want to come, so we don't. Yeah, I know what you mean, Christina. If a player doesn't want to come, but I don't think it was a full-on case of United wanting him and him not wanting to come to United. United have to sort of look like we're ambitious in a way, and I think that's what scuppered maybe a couple of deals in the summer. United weren't acting like a big club in the summer transfer window for me. We didn't get enough, and I think that's where a lot of players looking in who could possibly be coming to United would go like that. Not too sure about this. Doesn't look like it's a steady ship. Would I be happy coming here knowing that it could take another 2 or 3 years before this club could be even getting into Europe again and playing in the Champions League? That is an off-put. If United went out straight away in the summer, just went bang, 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 spent the money that needed to be spent, yeah, it would have been over the top for every player, but when you finish the way you finished last season, you can't argue with that. You have to pay premium prices because the players the clubs that are looking at selling to United know that we're desperate, and we know we need to sort of buy our way back up there. We do need to spend more money, and they're just going to take us to the cleaners. As a big club, your ambition should be accepting that we were poor the previous season and we needed to do more, and if we have to pay more, then we just have to pay it just to get this club to where it should be. And I think that's off-putting for a lot of players coming in as well. So it's not just a kid. There's a lot of things coming into that, but I would take Christian Eriksen on a free transfer. I would take him. I do think that he would be a good player for United, but that's all. Everyone's welcome to their event. I'm going to the Villa game 1st of December. Look forward to seeing you. Yes, Mo, I will see you there, mate. Definitely. There's a lot of people coming to the Villa game. No, we don't like Lil. I take it you're talking about Eriksen again there, Christina. Bring back O'Shea. Lil, sort your head out, mate. No, not O'Shea. Although he's a top lad, to be honest. But, yeah. If we can get Bruno or Eriksen in the January window, should take them, will improve us. Yeah. Bruno one I think would be a push. I mean, why did no other club go in for Bruno? That was my ultimate fear, to be honest. Can't understand why no one else snapped him up. Do you think we will sign Maddison? Maddison is another player. Now, he would be gettable at a high price. And you heard me and Saeed talking that time when I nearly knocked Saeed off his seat when I said that Maddison would cost in the region of 120 million. Now, it does seem like a far out price for that calibre of player, but like I just said, every single price for a player United are looking at now is massively inflated. So for me, it's going to be something around that region. We paid 80 million for Maguire, and I think Maddison is thought of a lot higher, and he's more of an attacking player who do bring more premium prices. So I would be surprised if United could get Maddison for anything less than 100 million. I really would, but I would take him tomorrow, definitely. What kind of car do you drive? Most random question ever. This one's a Range Rover. This is the Evoque. This is the Mrs. car, to be honest. So no, I've got a Passat as well. So yeah, I'll answer that question. Alien Tenor, Maguire for 70-80 million. Nope, he's not creative enough for that money. Mate, I totally disagree. I've watched Maguire. I've seen him when Leicester came to United, and Leicester was shite when they came to United, and we beat them 1-0. And he was the only player who stood out. This guy has got something. In my opinion, I would pay big money for Maddison. I really do think he's a good fit for United. But everyone has their own opinions. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people do like him. That's what I'm doing this show for. It's good to see what other people think. I take it all in. Buying UK players is smart because they are far more likely to give everything for the team. James, for example, whereas foreign players, you know what? I know you're going with that one. Long Cheney there says that. I think that's the way Ollie's looking at it as well, and that's where his priorities seem to lie in the summer with who he was buying. Christina, he is creative and he is very young for a midfielder. Will only get better. And boyhood United fan, that's Maddison. Yeah, take that. Let's see. Okay, Reds. Who would you spend 100 million on, Maddison or Sancho? I think it's going to cost that for each of them, mate, to be honest. I do. I think it's going to cost that for each of them. Beautiful president. I don't know what language that is, mate. I'm sorry. I may have to translate that, so I'm not too sure what you're saying. Hands up. I don't know, sorry. Adam, if we get 5 signings, will we compete? If Pogba leaves, we would need 3 players to replace him. Yeah, CDM, CM, and another number 10. Also a left back and a striker. Who are you thinking, Adam? 5 players. If Pogba leaves, Pogba is leaving. I can't see him lasting at all. I think he'll be gone in the summer. If Pogba leaves, then we've got a lot of money to spend. And there'd be no excuse for the Glazers and Ed Woodward not to spend, because we're still holding on to Lukaku's money. Pogba's going to bring in at least 100 million plus. So we're going to have 200 million to spend easy there. If I had to bring my top players in now, it all depends. Ideally, I would take Sancho and Maddison. I do like both of them. They've got to be top priorities for us. Left backs, there's a few in there. You could pick from a few. Left back wise, options are there. It could be any, to be honest. Left back, I mean, I like Chilwell, I really do. Well, I do like Chilwell, but there's no way that we're going to be able to take Leicester's 3 best players. Even Ndidi from Leicester is a good player. Tillemans should have been on United's shopping list from Leicester. They snapped him up as well. So the 5 players would be a tough one, to be honest, to pick out. I don't think United would ever get 5 players in one go, but I'm with you. If Pogba leaves, that's 3 central midfielders that have left. And I can't see anyone coming in before Pogba leaves, so that would be 3 gone. That would leave us shorter than short. And there's massive rumours that Matic is on his way to Inter Milan as well in January, so we could be losing a lot of our central midfield. If Matic goes in January, then we have to buy a central midfielder. There must be something in the works. If we're going to let Matic leave, as bad as he has been, I don't care what my man Ricky says from the United stand, who loves Matic and Matar. You've heard him going on. I had a chat with him outside Norwich, behind the cameras, and he was still adamant that they were our best players. I'm not having it at all. No way. Mata looks like, you know what? Where's Mata going? He's just not part of any plans. I don't understand that contract. But if Matic did leave in January transfer window, which there is a big rumour, then my God, some serious transfer is going to have to be made. And I don't think we'll be able to wait until the summer either. It would have to be spent in January. So, oh God, Bruno and Maddison, you never know. Christina's agreeing with me. 50 million for Bruno, 50 million for Lozano, 50 million Somari, Lafayette. Bruno has way better stats than Maddison. Bruno's stats in the Portuguese league, I can't count them. He does look like he has got something, yes. But if I had to match stats from a Portuguese league to a Premier League, then I wouldn't even consider the Portuguese league. I consider him as a player, and for that money I would definitely agree, Alien mate. But comparing him to what Maddison's doing in the league with the teams that we've got, let's not forget Liverpool and City are probably the best two teams in Europe at the moment, and that's what Leicester is sat behind right now. That's how I'm looking at it. And for Maddison to be part of that Leicester team that is taking them just to the brink of that, then you've got to give credit to that. And he has been standing out this season as well. He'd take the free kicks off Rashford as well. That'd be a good fight. Adam, what do you think about that Haaland dude in the winter window? I would take him, mate. Yeah, depends what fee he would demand. But 19, he looks like he's got a Rooney build, doesn't he? He looks like Rooney was when he was 19. He looks like he's ready-made for the rough and tumble, and he looks beyond his years. I think he looks like 5 years ahead in development in terms of his size and his build. They're the 1 in a million players. You don't get many Wayne Rooney's coming through, and he just looks like he'd be able to handle the Premier League, doesn't he? I mean, I know it's saying a lot for a 19-year-old, but if he was at the right price and available and wanted to come, and obviously having worked with Solskjaer as well already, then it is an option, and I would look at it. I would take serious note, definitely. Sorry people, I've got a really itchy nose for some reason. Would you take Haller? Is that the guy from West Ham's? Is that who you mean? No, I wouldn't take him if it is that. I don't know, just come back to me and let me know if that is who you mean. Great news. That's Christina, I take it that you mean Matic. Matic's leaving Xmas has come early, Alien Tenno. Agree, mate. Matic, Joan, Young to Winter. That's our feeder club, Lille United, isn't it, mate? Let's just get rid of everyone to Inter Milan. Smalling scored for Roma. Yeah, Smalling's not had a bad start, actually, for Roma. By all accounts, when I listened to the international show at a weekend, and they're going over all the news, Smalling has actually been playing well for Roma. So credit to him. Credit to him for actually going abroad. If it was anyone I would least expect to go abroad anywhere, even Italy, it'd be Chris Smalling. So I've got to give the guy credit for it. I think Bruno will be a great signing. Yeah, I do, for Lille United. I don't think Maddison will come to us. I think there's a chance, mate, still with that one. If United showed the intent, I think Maddison would come. I really do. Good mates with Harry Maguire, boyhood United fan, and you know what? It would take a stupid sum of money, but if the price was right, I don't think he'd have any qualms coming to United. I really don't. Let's see what else we got here. I would cash in on Ndidi from Leicester. Yeah, a lot of people like Ndidi. He does look like a quality player. Maddison is a United fan, so he wants to come. Says Norbert. Yep, totally agree. Right, people, Alfie's football training is just about to finish, so I'm going to have to cut the video there. I just want to say a massive thank you again. I am getting better, but for all the well-wishers who come on the last couple of videos and last couple of messages that I've posted out on social media, thank you all for the well-wishes. I will be back for Bournemouth. Hopefully we can carry this little mini run that we've got going on right now into the weekend and take advantage of a poor Bournemouth team at the moment in terms of form. I will catch you all later. Don't forget, like and give the video a share. Subscribe if you are watching for the first time, and I will be back on Saturday for the crunch game against Bournemouth. It's a long drive. I'm going to need your guys' companies, I think, for that one, because it's going to be a lonely one. Praying that we actually get the win and I have something happy to drive home with, listening hopefully to other teams struggling around us. I think Arsenal have got Wolves this weekend. I'm not sure when they play. That might be on the Sunday. I'm not too sure, but I'll have to look at the fixture list then. Anyway, that's it for me, people. Catch you soon. I'll see you on Saturday. Have a good Friday. Enjoy the weekend ahead. Hopefully it's a good one for us. England win the Rugby World Cup. Straight after that, United win against Bournemouth, and I'm driving home a very happy man. That's what I want. My voice will fully be back then and again, I'm sure. So, see you all soon, and have a great weekend, people. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.